We're joined again by my friend, attorney Lee Merritt. Lee, what do you think about what's happening in the streets right now? The protest, the marches, the looting, the curfews, everything that's been happening over the last 5 or 6 days.
Dr. Phil, this might sound a little strange, but this past week is the only thing that has made sense to me. We've lived in a country for a long time that has been very oppressive, systematically oppressive to the African American community, and a legal system that has offered families and communities no remedy. And so to see people take to the streets in response to that seems right to me. However, I would like to see those same people be able to direct that righteous indignation towards actual solutions.
You have just launched a very, very important program. Tell us what it is and describe your 3-step process.
We believe that the solution to this predicament that we find ourselves in is going to come both at a grassroots level locally, but also at a federal level. When you talk about a 3-part plan, one of the first major parts is going back to Capitol Hill and talk about long-term legislative solutions to the issue of police brutality, the issue of incarceration, and really the issue of dehumanization of the Black population. When I evaluate American society, I don't only compare it to itself, but I compare it to our neighbors. We have the United Nations as a platform. So when nations are in violation of the human rights of a certain sector of its population, there is a Human Rights Council that can hear those grievances and, when appropriate, apply sanctions to the nations that are in violation. And so we believe that the family of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor should go before the United Nations with their grievances as well. And then lastly, we as a community on a local level have to take steps to punish people who repeatedly violate the human rights of our citizenry. And those people right now is law enforcement. So we need to encourage, for example, businesses to divest from law enforcement when they continue to be abusive towards citizens' rights. We saw that an example of that here in Minnesota, where the University of Minnesota has decided that it would no longer employ the Minneapolis Police Department to police its campus. That kind of divestment, that kind of economic impact should be repeated all throughout the country until law enforcement officers show a greater commitment to upholding and protecting the rights of all.
That is such an important plan and program that you've got. And let me again commit to you my platform. I've got millions of viewers, I've got millions of followers. And as I've said before, my platform is your platform, my friend. And tell us the name of the website where people can go to learn more about this.
We're launching a new website tomorrow. Earlier this week, we launched a website called Stop Excessive Force. And that was really in reaction to the kind of abuses that we see directed at protesters who are protesting the system that already exists. We had to create a mechanism to respond directly to that, stopexcessiveforce.com, and then a greater plan, the Grassroots Law Project, that would help us implement the 3-part plan that I talked about earlier.
So to be clear, Lee's new website is grassrootslaw.org. All right, Lee, thank you so much for talking to me, and we'll make sure that we sound this long and hard. And seriously, my friend, I'm right by your side.